no secret that politics in America is more polarizing than ever, but now those divisive differences are taking root at another place, in church pews. And the challenge of navigating politics and prayer is tearing one California church apart. Reverend Jonathan Hall at the First Christian Church of North Hollywood says that uniting his politically blended congregation in a time of heightened partisan acrimony has increasingly become a challenge. He told the Washington Post, quote, "If I'm a good pastor, I'm both comforting you and confronting you, but I also need to be a prophet, right? You're supposed to come to church to look for questions that will change your life." Now, so far, several members have left the church entirely, one citing a planned film screening on Christian nationalism that they felt was anti-Republican, while others left after discovering fellow members plan to attend Trump's inauguration. So is this divisive trend here to stay? And if not, what can be done to bring spiritual harmony to communities fractured by ideological discord? Here with reaction, journalist, moderator, and strategic advisor for the Coalition of Faith and Media, Kim Douglas, along with host of Newsline right here on Newsmax, Bianca Della Garza. Thanks for both of you for joining us. Kim, I'm going to start with you here. Your thoughts on this? I mean, a lot of people say, well, church and politics shouldn't overlap to begin with, but it seems currently it's nearly impossible to do that.
It sure does. I know that the church that I go to, it's called Vintage, and it's in Malibu. We use a school, and the school is in danger. It's had a lot of fire damage. They're just starting to go into parks and wherever we can gather, because I think it's so important, especially right now, with what's going on in California with the fires, as well as the political scene, that we do have these places of refuge. And it's so unfortunate to me that it's become, a divisive issue. It should be a place where we all come and we find our refuge, we strengthen our faith, and we strengthen each other.
Now, Kim, I do want to ask you specifically about the fires in just a moment. But first, I know you're again at the airport in the midst of your own evacuation, so I'm not overlooking that. I'm going to ask you about that in a moment. But Bianca, first, I want to get your thoughts on this one, because isn't what makes us Americans, isn't what makes this country great, is people having different points of view, whether it is religious differences or political differences?
I feel I understand why Pastor Hall feels conflicted, because I'm sure it is hard if you're leading a congregation. As a strong believing Christian and evangelical, I like it when my pastors or the people I follow do get political and they don't shy away, because I think shying away from what we've been seeing, whether it be the trans agenda, Marxist philosophies, has actually got to the rot here. And when we see spiritual revival in our country, and people are more open to, accepting Jesus Christ as their Savior, like we've seen with Russell Brand and other big-name celebrities, I think there is an opening. And the greatest thing about America is if one pastor doesn't want to go political, there's plenty others. I like Jensen Franklin. He's not afraid to talk about faith. He's not afraid to talk about his support for President Trump. And when I watched an assassin's bullet nearly kill our incoming president, I know I witnessed a miracle, and I'm not afraid to say that. And I think a lot of pastors should not be afraid to talk about that as well.
All right, Kim, I do want to move on to this. As I pointed out, you are currently at the airport now. I know you said the wildfires in LA are getting dangerously close to your home in Brentwood, and that many of your friends have already lost their homes. I cannot imagine how terrifying all of this is. Just take a moment to fill us in on what it's like.
Yeah, it's really, I have to tell you, it looks like Armageddon. It's a war zone. All of Pacific Palisades, which is my neighboring town, is just gutted. It's literally to the dirt and ashes. We believe that, the Lord can turn ashes into beauty. And I'm going to believe and just encourage my neighbors and my friends and all those watching that will happen. But I have to tell you, I'm literally at the airport, Katrina, just ready to leave because the smoke is so bad. All of the power is out in our neighborhood. And at least 15 friends have lost their homes. Absolutely. And couldn't even walk out with, a passport or any papers. They're just had to leave.
And terrifying. And again, we're talking about, Hollywood and Los Angeles, and this really does look like the worst possible movie that I could ever imagine. And again, it is most certainly reality, and it's so sad to see. Kim, I hope you get to safety. We're wishing you the best.
Thank you.
And Bianca, thanks as always for joining us.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.